Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of In the War Room. I am your host, Tom Pepper, and this is your other host.
Me. Iain Eccleston.
Fuck, your hair is long. It's actually quite scary when you're like could be wings.
Like a little interview. I'm Iain Eccleston, yep. Hi.
Yeah, I am Iain Eccleston. I also hold my hair up like this. We are, as always, brought to you by iron-firetables.co.uk, the best place to go and find your tables that look like this. They sell planters and... What did he tell me that they were
Platters.
making? Planters and platters. Lights and up lights and down lights and side lights and...
Bedside tables?
Yeah, probably. They'd do bedside tables for you. They're doing something else as well. Oh, they're doing these little drinks trolleys now, right? Which are fucking wicked. They're like thin, and they've got wheels on the bottom of them, and underneath is racks where you can fit like wine glasses, cocktail glasses, and then underneath that is like a board that's a chopping board that covers like all of your fruit and stuff, so you can keep it all in there, and then you treat the top bit as a bar, and then you can keep all your alcohol underneath it as well, so you can pull up what you need.
It's just a portable bar.
It's a portable bar, yeah. Portable bar.
That's why it's cool.
That is why it's fucking cool.
So if they didn't have anything for alcohol, it wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, I think...
What do you like, lemon and lime?
Andrew, the chap who owns it, was just like, oh, I quite like drinking. Would quite like
made one for himself.
Would quite like one of these bars.
This is cool.
Yeah. We might be a little bit louder today, so let's sit a bit further back on the mics today. Not like massively further, but yeah, there you go.
How's that?
You got it. But
cool?
In the effort to try and make it as audible as possible, I've just turned the gain all the way up. Because that's what they do, right? Like you want volume, give it gain. So today is episode 7.
Yeah.
Of In the War Room, the podcast. When we get to 10...
Man, we're going to have a party.
Yeah.
We're going to have a podcast party.
Gonna drink more water than I
Going to get a
normally
portable bar.
Mm.
And the pizza from Pizza Hut.
You heard it here first. We might have a iron-fire portable bar.
Pizza party.
Pizza party with the portable bar.
Podcast. Pizza party portable bar podcast.
Portable bar pizza party podcast.
That's the one. The PBPPP.
Coming out of straight from the P1 PBPBPPP. So as always, you're gonna get some stuff going on here today. We'll start it off with Hate Your Leaders. Hate your fucking leaders. I've not been watching any of the news. How about you?
I'll just read it.
Cool.
So as we're building up to a general election, we'll focus on that every week.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or do they seem to be releasing a manifesto like every other day?
I feel like they're definitely back and forthing a lot in terms of...
Yeah. It's like, here's this manifesto, and then Labour bring out another one, and then Lib Dem bring one out, and then the Tories are like, hang on, we should say this as well. Here's another manifesto.
Update. I mean, well, with all of them, though, they don't have to stick to it. So who gives a fuck? They could do anything. I could promise you, guys, next week, we're going to have CGI budget and there's going to be dinosaurs doing the podcast.
If you vote for us.
If you vote for us, yeah, on this competition. And then ultimately, by the time it gets to next week and there's just me and you sat here, we'll ignore that fact. Someone will eventually ask it, and we'll ignore that as well. If you ignore it, it goes away.
I gave you the... remember Joe Swinson said that there'd be £50 billion if she was put in, and that would be for stopping leaving the European Union.
Joe Swinson's the Liberal
Lib
Democrat
Dem leader, yeah.
Candidate.
I remember I came up with a completely different plan for Joe Swinson that would definitely get her elected.
Okay.
Which is if she took that £50 billion and split it between everyone over a certain age. What age did we say?
18, wasn't it?
18, was it? Everyone over 18. She could afford to give everyone in the UK
930 quid, I think.
930 odd quid.
Just in time for Christmas.
Now, if she told me that she was going to give me £930 to vote Lib Dem, I would vote Lib Dem. My wife would vote Lib Dem.
Imagine.
And then I'd buy a Kemp.
You'd have 18. Between us, we'd have enough to buy an Axe FX3.
That's it, see? Buy Hollow Crown a Kemper, Joe Swinson, or an Axe FX3. Buy Hollow Crown and Axe FX3, and we'll vote Lib Dem.
I'm still going to draw a massive penis on my ballot paper.
That's it, because we'll do exactly what she does, and we'll say, yeah, sure, take the money, and then we won't go and vote Lib Dem.
Yeah.
I remember when I told you that I'd vote Lib Dem when I promised you this? Well, actually, I lied.
Who have we got in the candidates? We've got, in the blue corner, we have Boris Johnson. Great.
As the leader, yep.
In the red corner, we have Jeremy Corbyn. In the yellow corner, we have Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton?
Is that who the
That's
fuck
an
that
actress.
is?
That's the one from the beach.
Oh, right, it's not Tilda Swinton. Jeremy Swinson?
Joe Swinson.
Joe Swinson.
I think.
She ain't winning. Don't care. Green
No,
Party.
she says she is.
She ain't winning. I
don't even know the leader of the
best
Green
that the
Party.
Lib Dems have ever done was Nick Clegg, and how well did that go, Ian? How well did his partnership with Pigfucker Cameron?
I don't know. They didn't even
go?
run where we were.
No, they were just like, it was an amazing PR opportunity. The two of them would stand.
Nick the
little...
pig fucker Clegg, did you say?
No, not Nick the Pigfucker Clegg. Nick Clegg hung out with the Pigfucker Cameron. Because James Cameron, was that his name?
I was in
or
the
is
band.
No, that's the director. His name was David Cameron, and he fucked pigs. Let's never forget that. And if you see him running around the streets of London, oink at
With a
him.
pig hanging out of his crotch. That's because he's fucking it.
That's because he's like, if I was a butcher and I got the request for a full pig roast to David Cameron's house, I would definitely be putting AIDS in that
I'd
pig.
call the Sun
Squeeze.
and the Daily Mirror.
Yeah, that's because you just want the 500 quid.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait, they give you 500 quid for a story.
Well, I'm sure if you had a story of David Cameron buying
So we
a
need
giant
4 stories. And then we've got an Axe FX3.
Fuck. Yeah, that's a good point. We do need that. I was thinking, so in terms of who's in the green corner, I don't even know.
No idea.
No one knows. I'm sure there's some other minority parties as well. As you can tell by now, the Metal Party has not formed because it seems just really convoluted and quite expensive to set up a party. So we decided to not do it. Not because we don't want...
Because we don't care about you. Because we do.
Yes. But it wasn't anything to do with that. It was more to do with...
The fact that we would have
quite a lot, isn't
made policies and then actually wanted to follow through with them.
Yeah, like a festival,
every
weekend, mandatory. But you get every other one off.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 and then 1 off. Every third.
I just don't think we'd have had the budget, to be honest.
We would have spent all the budget. The NHS we'd have had to sell for sure. Unfortunately.
Just scrap it.
So what have we learned from the policies? Oh, I did read a thing on Facebook, the most trusted news source on the entire internet, that 2 million young people have signed up to vote. 2 whole million out of 63 million people of the young people, but that's including the babies and stuff. So like there's probably like 50 million people in voting age, do you reckon? So 2 million more of them are now going to vote for Labour, I assume.
I don't think it'll do them any good, to be honest.
I don't like...
Because they've probably lost about 5 million Labour voters.
I'm just waiting. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the whole thing to fall apart so that we can go back to just wielding axes and...
I think that might be closer than...
Fucking thank God. This is all I've been practicing for. I've got enough petrol in my tank, and I've got enough petrol in the sidelines and an axe. So if it all goes horribly wrong and you see a maniacal naked man riding along screaming in the wind...
Why are you going to be naked?
Because like Koshai the Deathless, I'm going to go be stealing princesses and waiting for them to live with me, trying to convince them that they should love me while they actually hate me. But I'm not going to do anything wrong to them.
But why naked?
That's because Koshad the Deathless used to ride around on a horse. He was an old
cold, man.
He was fucking but he was in Scandinavia. It's Slovak like legend, I think. So it's like he was just a naked Slovakian dude riding around the hills, like screaming on a horse.
Driving around on your motorbike with your shriveled up penis and hard nips. It's fucking cold.
Give me that glass, I'm gonna cut it.
Looking for princesses.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm gonna do.
Attacking every castle that you see.
He also
Straight to Banwell Castle. Where's your princess?
he was Koshai the Immortal, right? Because he kept his heart in a box, oftentimes inside a goose, oftentimes inside a tree, right? So like, in order to kill this dude, you'd have to go and find a tree that had a goose which had a box inside it and stab his heart. That's what I want. That's
That'd
my
be-
future.
You'd find the tree, and then you'd be like, yeah, there's a goose in there. Then you'd kill it, and then the box wouldn't be in there. You'd be like, fuck's sake.
Oh, next tree was a goose in it. I'm searching for geese. All right, well, that was the shortest Hate Your Leader segment ever. We haven't been bothered to watch the news. It's all a big pile of steaming hot turd. So we're going to move on to... Let's do the album review. Fucking album reviews! What did we review?
F and M.
Lindemann. Which isn't actually just Till Lindemann.
No, I thought it was, but no, it isn't. It's a duo.
It's a dynamic duo supergroup.
It is. It's a dynamic duo supergroup.
Yeah, what's the other guy called? Swedish guy.
Eric Schwadstrom.
Did you make that up?
Yeah.
Eric Schwadstrom.
Something Talstrom or something like that.
A very Swedish name. But he's in Lindemann.
He's in Lindemann.
He's actually not even on their Wikipedia page. Well, he's not on the F&M Wikipedia page.
I think it's Phil Tagstrom.
Phil Tagstrom.
Let's have a look.
While you're doing that, I'll just run down some facts. It was released on the 22nd of November through Universal Music and Vertigo Berlin.
Peter Tagstrom.
Peter Tagstrom. He's the producer as well then. So he produced it. Because that's the producer's name.
And he's in... so he's a multi-instrumentalist, so he plays drums on it as well.
Yeah.
And
And guitars.
he's in Hypocrisy, which are a fucking great band.
Yeah. So Peter Tagtron is wicked. Till seems to like to hang out with Peters because Peter Stormare, who you might know from Prison Break as the angry Russian dude, who I only ever remember him from Prison Break as the angry Russian dude. What did you do with my things? He's also in other things. I don't remember any of them.
I don't know who this guy is.
He's the guy in the music video that I showed you for...
What's his name?
Seth Orff, Peter Stormare. You recognise his face from Prison Break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was wicked in Prison Break. He wasn't the Pockets dude, whatever that guy was called, but he was great.
I don't know him from Prison Break. What do I know him from? Armageddon.
He was in Armageddon.
Yeah.
So he's in the video for Seth Orff and for Frau and Man. Or Steph Orff, which is Get Up in English. So the album was written by the duo in 2018. Did you know that?
Yeah.
For an adaptation of Hansel and Gretel.
No, that wasn't the album.
They wrote
music, which
bunch
I
of the
think
tracks,
influenced
right?
what was on the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did like the music for
Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel
Which
interpretation.
Till was in,
didn't
right?
they? Like,
That would have been so good.
exploding dildos and like fucking explosions everywhere. Hansel! Yes, Gretel!
What are we doing in England when we don't have like a crazy German dude doing that in theatres? Like, what the fuck? No wonder we're all pissed off and not able to fucking get
I know.
get anything done.
We need Lindemann.
Please, should we start a campaign to make Lindemann British again?
Make Lindemann
British full stop. Well, apparently a bunch of the tracks from the Hansel and Gretel adaptation made it onto the album. So, if not all of them, is what I read on the F&M Wikipedia page. You can go and check that out yourself at wikipedia.com/search it yourself.
Google.
So, the track listing is, I'm going to do it in German, badly, and then in English, well. Steh auf, which is
Steh
get
auf.
up. Steh auf! Is that one?
Steh auf. And I'll do it in my best Lindemann voice.
Great. So, Ik wieb es nicht.
Ik weet is niet.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Track 3, Illis Fresse,
Illis Fresse.
or also known as Omnivore. Track 4, Blut, Blood. My favourite track, and now my new favourite music video, Knebbel, also known as Gag. Fucking best lyrics. I'm going to read some of the lyrics in a bit because Lindemann might be a
If you
genius.
haven't seen the uncensored video,
You can find it on Reddit.
it's
In fact, should we post it? It'll be in the description of this podcast because it's fucking wicked.
it's interesting, isn't it?
So wicked. Frau and man,
Vrouwenman.
woman and man. Ach so gern.
I'm not going to try that.
Oh so glad. Schlafein. Schlafein.
Schlafein.
Go to sleep. That's the one that's
Oh,
like,
Schlafein.
Schlafein. Go to sleep. Gummi, which must be from Hansel and Gretel.
Gummi.
And it's rubber. Platz 1,
Platz 1.
first place. Wo wieb das schon?
Wo je das schon?
Who knows? Not the most like filtered down way of that.
Who knows?
Mathematik,
Mathematik.
also known as mathematic. And then the pain version of Oh So Glad, which is Ach so gern.
Pain version of Axelbrunn.
Your German is on fucking point.
Danke.
So, yeah, it was, as I say, Ben Wilshire of Hollow Crown fame brought Knebbel to the party on Saturday. So, Saturday night, when all the recording was done, we were sat down and he said, have you seen the music video for Knebbel? And as soon as I've seen it, I saw it on Saturday, I must have seen it 10 times already, and it's Tuesday. I've watched it again and again and again. I think he's a fucking genius in regards to the imagery that he gets across, the way his acting and his visual aids, his eyes, everything about him as a being. It blows my tiny little fragile mind. My tiny fragile mind. And obviously,
It's very arty, isn't he? I think there's comparisons between them and
Behemoth.
Yeah.
Behemoth
Like
eat
in
a
the
lot.
way that they...
Behemoth eat a lot less pussy in their music videos, is what I've learned.
In the way that they approach it, or from it's like a circular thing, isn't it? It's like they've got... Nothing is
Left up to
left
anyone
out,
else. Yeah.
and everything is very precise, and they have control over. Well, when you think of the imagery involved with Behemoth, with the tunes and how everything is together, and then the videos, and if a guy was yeah, you can spend 10 grand and kind of do what you're saying, or you can spend 100 grand and do, they'd be like, I don't think they're doing it. I don't think they're doing it for any other reason apart from that they love what they're doing.
I agree. I massively agree. They've spent a budget on this.
Yeah.
On their music videos, the music video for Frau and Man, obviously they've got a lot of this space stuff, and the cinematography is fucking incredible.
Well, I know it helps that they make a lot of money.
Yeah, it probably does.
But at the same time, he doesn't have to make videos where they're floating around in space.
Yeah, but I think I appreciate it.
That's what I mean. He doesn't have to do it. He could.
Yeah.
They're big enough to not do it and still do big tours and stuff.
Yeah.
Rammstein as well, but they still do it, don't they? Every time.
It's because it's this amazing output, and I sent it to a friend of mine, Alex, right? And I Knebbel the music video, and he was like, "Why have I just watched that?" And I was like, "I think it's I genuinely think it's artistic genius." And he's like, "Agree to disagree." And I was like, "Well, you're just wrong, man. I don't care."
Agree to disagree? No.
I don't care. I don't agree to disagree because you're just fucking wrong. I agree to be right.
Yeah, I agree. I'm right.
I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you like. If you can't appreciate this as it's not as if it's just gratuitous. He's not doing it in a non-artistic way. It's so symbolic. It's so representative, and it's so in keeping with his tone. And to me, that like really gets me like excited. Like,
I just like that every part of what he does is thought through to like the nth degree. And I like that. I like bands that do that. Tool do that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't just push something out and everything is like fucking
tailored.
They're like Navy SEALs of the music industry, like, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, we're not fucking around here.
It's basically challenged us. We haven't really made an official proper music video yet. Like with budget, like a good budget.
Well, this is the thing. These guys are dropping 10, 20 grand on a video easily, like, aren't they? So
Yeah. I mean, we can't really compare with
you can't compete,
a £750 video, really, can you? Like, can I get a red camera down to a track?
Nick Gavin,
please?
Tom's going to send you over all the Lindemann videos. We've got £500.
I got £500. I did tell Nick Gavin that I want to, once we've done the album, that I want to film all the music videos in Panavision. He was like, yeah, I'm up for it. But it's going to cost a lot of money. But we just need to figure it out, I guess. But it's like, basically...
Well, Nick just needs to figure out how it won't cost a lot of money.
I want that Hateful Eight vibe. That broad spectrum, you know? Like real deep colours. But then, like, the problem is with it all is that we'd say, yeah, let's do it in Panavision. Nick would be like, yeah, wicked. He'd get the footage home and he'd have to have an entirely new computer because there's no fucking way he'd be able to edit it. But yeah, I mean...
And then we can do a cinematic release in all the View cinemas across the country.
But honestly, man, like after watching S&M 2 in the cinema, I don't think we should ever do gigs again. We should just do cinema shows. Just film a gig. Or not even a gig. Don't even film a gig. Just do like an actual... Like,
and in fairness,
film.
The bar is a lot less busy, isn't it?
It's fucking more expensive, though. I'll tell you that much for sure. Although, speaking of busy bars, download the Weatherspoons app because it's fucking pimp. You never have to queue at a bar ever again, unless, of course, they're so busy that they stop the app.
Never, not Weatherspoons.
No,
nothing stops in Weatherspoons.
Nothing ever stops in Weatherspoons. So, yeah, I mean, for me, Bout was a big
that was
track.
My favourite track, yeah.
Knebel was my actual favourite track because I just, like, there's something about that real nice, simple acoustic guitar. It sounded jangly and beautiful and big and, like, nice. And then how he'd always come back to the Knebel in den Mund or whatever it is.
That bit where after it kicks off and then it drops out again. And he's like just shouting, isn't he? And it's in the background. And the video he's underwater, isn't he?
He's screaming, I hate you.
Yeah.
Let me read you the lyrics to that because I think, personally, they're inspired. That's Bout. So, Knebel. I like the sun, the palm trees and the sea. I like to watch the sky, the clouds behind. I like the cold moon when the moon is full. And I like you with a gag in your mouth. I like full glasses, the streets when they're empty. I like the animals, people not so much. I like dense forests, the meadows are colourful. And I like you with a gag in your mouth. Life is simple, simply so hard. It would be so easy if it were easier. If everything is destiny, everything has a reason, and you are very quiet, you have a gag in your mouth.
This is, by the way, this is also the Metal Party manifesto.
We are finally publishing the manifesto. This is the Metal Party. What do they call it? The party conference. Is this our party conference? Just me and you sat in the war room. I like light girls and cry when they are heavy. I like your mother, your father not so much. I do not like children. I do it here. And I like you with a gag in your mouth. I like the tears on your face. I like myself. I do not like myself. My heart is broken. My soul is sore. And you look at me with a gag in your mouth. And then he goes to the chorus. Life is sad. Life is hard. I would like it if it were easier. The world keeps turning. The earth is round. Nothing revolves around you. You have a gag in your mouth. In the mouth. Yes. And then I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And then back to the chorus of life is simple, simply so hard. It would be so easy if it were easier. If everything was destined, everything has a reason. and you were very quiet in your mouth. He doesn't even put the gag in her mouth at the end. He's like, you're just very quiet in your mouth. So yeah, I think that's fucking inspired. I think, like, musically it works really well, and I don't know. I thought "Go to Sleep" was pretty brutal. It kind of seems like he's trying to, like, it's like a kid's dying in front of him, and he's just like, just go to bed. You know, you go to sleep. Because these lyrics here: "Dear child, you shouldn't cry. It'll just make the earth wet. Tomorrow the sun will shine. Lick the tears from your pale cheek. When the day comes to the end, the last light stands before darkness. You shouldn't be sad. Tomorrow the sun will shine. Go to sleep. And the cold night is over. Freely give in to sleep once more. Gently open your heavy lids, and if God is willing, we'll see each other again." But he's cool. So, Lindemann, F&M, go now and purchase that album, or just listen to it on Spotify and streaming. He'll get a bit of money for it. You might give him like 60p if
Or
you
like
listen to it once.
half the songs have got videos, like awesome videos.
Oh, they're fucking wicked videos. So go YouTube, check it out. What else do we do in this podcast? Should we do metal news? Metal news! What's new in the metal news?
Not much.
I've got one. Do you want one?
Go on.
Kevin Hart wore an Exodus t-shirt.
Gary Holt's given him a free pass because it does turn out Kevin Hart does not know who Exodus are.
No, of course Kevin Hart does not know who Exodus are. But Kevin Hart's a badass,
Yeah.
and so's The Rock. I mean, it would have been better. I read a comment on Instagram, and someone was like, "Oh man, imagine if the Rock was wearing a Bathe in Blood shirt as well, like just the two of them. Like, yeah, that'd be wicked." But
Bathe in blood.
Bathe in blood. Ooh. I did see another picture as well where they had The Rock and Kevin Hart, and they'd swapped them round. So Kevin Hart was the big dude and The Rock was like the little guy. So they're out promoting Jumanji 2. I watched Jumanji 1 again. Well, the new Jumanji 1.
Which I haven't watched, so I'd have to watch it.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. I enjoyed it.
I got confused because you were talking about the Welcome to the Jungle film
That's great.
with
film as
Dwayne
well.
The Rock Johnson in. The first Jumanji is called Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle,
Yeah,
right?
you're damn right.
And that's got The Rock Johnson in, and I was like looking at the synopsis of Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. I was like, it doesn't sound like anything like the film that Tom was talking
Sean William
about.
Scott's not in it.
Yeah, I was
Did
like-
you watch Welcome to the Jungle?
I watched the first 5 minutes and I started falling asleep, so I stopped.
Fuck.
But yeah, I was like, is Tom getting confused? What's going on? And then I just searched around to the jungle. I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. So watch both those films because they're great. Just a nice, like, chilled film, you know? One thing that we should probably say is that stylists also have style, right? So the stylist who put that t-shirt on Kevin Hart might be an Exodus fan. And he might have been, or she might have been like, that's fucking cool. If they're not, we should probably just garrote them and leave them be. Strangle them to death with a chicken wire. What else? Dave Mustaine will not settle for anything but success with his battle against cancer, which is fucking good. That's positive mindset. I like to think that Dave Mustaine is like going out and like being real positive about having cancer, because having cancer sucks.
Well, they're booking tours, aren't they?
Well, he ain't gonna slow down, man. Like, and I think that's the best way to be for it, you know? Like,
Also, you got throat cancer. It's throat cancer, isn't it?
yeah. But horrible. But like, as soon as you give in to that stuff, you're done. And I'm fucking glad that he's not giving into it, you know? Because as soon as you start getting in your own head about it,
He's not giving in to nothing, is he? He's fucking Dave Mustaine, like.
no.
You're not the singer and songwriter and driving force behind Megadeth by giving into things.
No, that fucking video you showed me the other day as well.
into the sunset after being sacked by Metallica. I will make a band. We will be bigger than Metallica. We'll be the best metal band on the planet. Running over the hill like flying V in his hand.
I feel like this audio is actually going to be fucked because every time you scream it clips, but don't worry. Maybe turn your head.
I will make a better band.
That's perfect. That is fucking perfect. Yeah, we wish him all the luck, man. Like, Dave, keep it hard. I love that Megadeth tune you played me the other day, that music video. It's great.
Holy Wars.
Holy Wars, yeah. First mistake. Last mistake.
Man, that's like, I don't know, maybe the best metal album ever made?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. In terms of importance.
In terms of importance,
I mean, people would argue that was. Megadeth fans, you know, would be like, that's the best album
I
ever
still
made.
think Elvis Presley's.
Oh, we know what you think is best. Fucking Metal Galaxy or whatever. Fucking.
Baby metal. Baby metal is the most defining thing of our generation, right? So, also, how many sounds can we fit in this electronic song?
So the Motley Crue tour is up in the air.
It's definitely never going to happen.
Because between them, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison want $3.25 million per gig.
Just to get on stage. So
Metal Injection figured out that if they were selling the tickets at $70, which seems a reasonable price to see those three bands, they'd have to sell, was it?
43,000 tickets.
43,000 tickets per gig.
So they're only playing stadiums.
And like not even
It might be possible.
in the States, maybe like
Might be possible.
there's not a lot of stadiums here that
they
have
only,
that many people.
They only have to do like 4 stadiums, right?
like a Poison, a Motley Crue really going to sell out Old Trafford? I doubt it.
I don't know. After that Netflix documentary,
Yeah, maybe.
probably a bunch of people would turn up.
But if they double the ticket price,
I reckon they're probably just going to lower their expectations.
then they can sell 30,000 tickets at like.
They're just
£100.
negotiating. They're negotiating well. They've come in with a high price. This is what we want.
No, you know what it
There's
is.
no fucking way they're going to get it. But at least like Motley Crue might end up with a
Motley
£1
Crue are
million
like, we
show.
don't want to do this. So if we're going to do it, we need to get $500,000 each per gig. That's what it's worth to us.
Yeah.
And then if people are like, no, then they're like, fuck it, I'll stay at home and drink and do whatever it is they do. Like,
Just chill out.
we
right?
follow Tommy Lee on Instagram, don't we?
Yeah.
And he's just on holiday all the time.
I remember watching Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson's porno. Did you ever see that? No. That was great. When I was like 14, 15, I found it, and it's like super low quality and grainy, but you see Tommy Lee, Pamela Anderson, he goes to town. They're on a boat as well. He's always on holiday.
Yeah, he's just
been
on
on holiday
holiday
since I was 14.
So why does he want to do a tour? Right, Tommy, let's you come
wants a
back
bigger
on
boat.
You come back on holiday. Why? We're gonna do some work. What? We're going to Sheffield to do a gig.
We're going to go play the Crucible.
We're going to Cardiff to do. Nah, I'm good.
What, Bahamas? or the MEN?
Guys, I got a yacht.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I've got a boat.
I got a yacht. I'm 52 years old and I'm married to a 19-year-old chick.
Is he?
Something like that. She's like 23 or 24.
Is
or
he like
something.
Elon Musk and Grimes?
Yeah, he's like, why am I going to go on tour? Because you know,
Give you $2 million?
we'll give you $500,000 per gig. Okay,
That means I can fund my habits for the
I'll do 5. And then what was it? So Motley Crue want $2 million per show.
Yeah.
Def Leppard want $1 million per show.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Poison want a mere 250,000.
Which is a lot for Poison, to be fair, isn't it? they probably saw everyone else's
They were
coming.
pretty
like,
big, like.
2 million, 1 million.
And he's
Do you
had
reckon we can
that
get?
love.
Like, we were going to ask for 80, but 250?
We were going to do it for exposure, man. Tommy Lee's like, yeah, I'll expose stuff to you.
Also, Jason Momoa is getting screaming lessons.
For what?
He's gonna, I guess, I'm assuming by looking at his Facebook and Instagram profiles recently, he recently got like a big gift set from Metallica, which is like a surfwear set that was all
He's
Metallica
joining
branded.
Metallica.
I don't think he's joining Metallica, but he's getting screaming lessons, and there's a lot of pictures with him and a guitar at the moment. I think Jason Momoa might be transitioning from actor to metal musician.
I hope he's better at playing music than he is at acting.
I'd imagine he's going to be around about the same.
So
I don't know the dude. I don't know any of his backstory. I don't know any. So if I'm wrong here, like, I don't care. I can't see this working out that well. Like, he's just about to get screaming lessons. He must be getting guitar lessons by now.
So
How old is the dude?
This is what I'm saying. Is this because like he's hit a point where working out to maintain his muscle mass is becoming a bit of an effort?
He wants a cocaine habit.
And he knows that if he loses the muscles, he loses the job role.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if he's slaying the guitar and singing wicked metal tunes and driving around in old Ford cars with a dog.
It must be great being at that point in a career where you're like, well, I'm not actually that good at what I did, but I got famous doing it. So now I can just do other stuff and not be that good at it. But because I'm just Jason Momoa, people will pay to see it.
I don't know. Like, would you go and pay to see fucking Johnny Depp's band? I wouldn't. I did pay to see once. Actually, I think someone bought a ticket for it. That guy from the IT crowd who plays the boss, what's his name? He's like the guy who sits on the top of the office. He's like, "Rah, blah, 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 blah." He's like quite a posh dude, and he's like a funny comedian. I can't remember his name. But I paid to see his band, thinking it would be funny. Well, I didn't pay. I got given a ticket, thinking it would be funny. Turned up, and it was just fucking indie pop nonsense. And I sat,
It is, isn't it? These
sat
people
there for an
aren't-
hour and a half, and I was like, oh, you're taking yourself way too seriously
I
here.
don't know. It's luck, isn't it?
It's luck.
I mean, he's just got a look, isn't he?
Well, Jason Momoa. Yeah. Jason Momoa actually, like, looking at his Instagram account kind of pissed me off because he had an Oldsmobile Delta 1974, which is the car that Ash from The Evil Dead has, which is the car that I fucking have wanted for ages because Ash from The Evil Dead was like my role model since I was a child. Genuinely, right? So he had that. He had a wicked looking dog and he's getting gifts from fucking Metallica. Fuck that guy. He's a cunt. And he's got a beard and long hair. He's a prick. I'm not going to do anything to him.
And he's got
Jason
really big
Momoa.
muscles.
He's much bigger than, like, he actually goes to the gym. I've stopped going. Just out of fear that if I keep going, I might bump into him. And we might merge into one and create a voided black hole. Like, we were almost the same. Suck everyone into it and then, you know.
Yeah, I watched a few films with him in.
I've never, like, what's he in?
Game of Thrones.
Well, he wasn't in that very long, though, wasn't he? Like, you don't
And
really
he didn't even have a part, did he?
He couldn't even really call that acting. Anyone can
Then he
kind
had
of,
sex and then he died.
anyone can grunt and anyone can be walk like this, like that. Yeah. Like,
But that's what I mean. I
what
don't know if
fucking
that
easy
was
job.
was that his breakthrough.
Yeah, probably. Aquaman. He was in that, right? Any good?
No,
Did you watch it?
watched half of it. It was like
Yeah.
Justice
Also,
League.
he chose to be an Aquaman, for fuck's sake.
Wow.
It's like no one cares about
Money,
Aquaman.
yeah.
Not even Aquaman cares about Aquaman. It's like,
even
what's your
Aquaman
fucking skill?
cares about-
What is your skill?
Breathe underwater.
I can talk. I can breathe underwater. I can talk to all the sea animals, and occasionally I can make a wave.
So basically,
So you're
Aquaman,
Poseidon.
you're a mermaid.
You're Poseidon, the worst god. It's like everyone lives on land, and you're the god of the sea. Well done. You can just about get to the seafaring.
So this is the hate you,
coastal continents.
hate Jason Momoa section.
No, I don't hate Jason Momoa. I don't know Jason Momoa.
He's one of those
I'm
guys
just
that-
upset that he's got an Oldsmobile Delta or a wicked job, and now he's taking screaming lessons.
He's just one of those guys that like you look at, and there's women, men and women, like this, and you look at and you're like, what the fuck are you actually good at? Because I can't tell. Yet you seem to be very.
He's hot. Jason Momoa's hot, I'd assume, to people.
I'm googling him.
He looks like a hot man. He's got long hair and a big beard and tattoos, and
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy, isn't he?
he's a good-looking guy.
He's from Hawaii.
Hawaii. He has who was that? Tulsa Gabbard. She should have done better.
So he was in Stargate.
Was he in Stargate? What, the original Stargate? Like the
I
TV
don't know,
show?
some other one.
What else has he been in? Either way, He ain't no fucking Daniel Day-Lewis, is he? Daniel Day-Lewis, his sweat axe. Jason Momoa.
You know what? He seems like a genuine guy. Like
He seems like a nice dude.
Jason Momoa doesn't appear to come from money or anything. He's worked to get where he is. I think we might be being a bit harsh.
I don't know him. I said this. I said I didn't know him. I'm just upset that he's got my fucking car and he's got a dog. That's all I care about. Like, he's got the car that I want, he's got a dog, and he's taking screaming lessons. I wish I could afford screaming lessons.
And he's always smiling.
He is always smiling. He seems like a nice dude.
I'm changing my tune on this.
Jason Momoa, we love
I like you.
Should we get him to join the band? He plays.
Please don't start screaming in a metal band.
He plays rhythm guitar, and he's potentially going to start screaming.
Yeah, but like, just put it in drop D and play it open and call yourself a doom band, and you.
It'll be Stoner Sludge probably,
Yeah.
Which I'll appreciate. Like if it's good,
That's a riff.
If it's
Guys,
good,
I've got a riff.
I think the problem is the thing that we neither of us know, no one knows, is we don't know if it's going to be good, right? If it's good, then great. Like there's always room for new great music. If it's just Jason Momoa's like other option, then
Well, when is Sylvester Stallone going to be in this band
this band.
with Jason Momoa?
That would be sick. When we leave, I guess they can take our places.
No, with Jason Momoa.
Oh,
It
what?
depends who he's getting in the band, in this celebrity metal band with him.
Is it going to be a celebrity metal band?
Yeah.
Like Celebrity Deathmatch, but the metal version of it.
It's going to be
Everyone's made out of plasticine.
It's going to be what's his name, Steven Seagal.
That would be sick. Steven Seagal, what would he play? Bass, probably, right? I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got Steven Seagal, and who's the other dude? This bold dude. He's
Bruce
Triple
Willis.
X. No, Triple X.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I've got Steven Seagal and Vin Diesel here. It'd be a real shame if you were to fucking charity shame me.
Then I took some pictures and I put them on, and I thought I looked really ripped. So I put them online, and someone called me fat, and then
Look like fatty boom boom. So yeah, let's recap on the fact that we don't hate Jason Momoa. We don't know Jason Momoa.
no. And a quick Google search. He seems like a happy, nice guy.
He's always smiling, always wearing hats. Got a great car, got a great dog.
Doesn't beat
I'm
the
just
fact-
pissed off. I'm just jealous.
Okay, cool. Well, it doesn't beat the fact either that he's a shit actor.
Again, I don't really know that either. I've only ever seen him in Game of Thrones. I'm sure he is. If you say
Well, you wouldn't
so.
know from Game of Thrones, would you?
Well, no, because it was in like 3 episodes, wasn't it? And
All
then
you
he
know is
died.
he's got a huge chest.
He's fucking big. He's a big boy. I reckon he'd be an amazing football player. He looks big. American football, that is. Okay, cool. So, should we do a Holocron update?
It's a Holocron update!
We're working with a manager, which we can finally say out loud now. Chap called Danny Watson. And he's helping us do some cool stuff. Big up, Danny.
We're doing some live vids
Yeah. Playthroughs.
of the 2 songs we've recorded.
We've got an amazing drum sound in our studio now.
We're waiting for the money to come through from Joe Swinson, and then we'll be having a camper in there as well.
Yep. Joe, this is out to you. Push it harder. We all need our 930 quid.
Yep.
Building the tour for next year. So we'll be in a town near you.
We're also going to be in Europe,
Yep.
potentially.
Yeah. We're going to go to Germany.
90% sure, I'd say.
Yeah, 90%. Going to go to Germany.
And maybe...
Support Lindemann for a couple of shows. After he sees this podcast and realises how big fans we are. Thanks, Lindemann. Till. Brother Till. We're trying to figure out more content. We're doing filming on Monday night. And just generally, just trying to sort some bits and pieces out, really. The game's coming along well.
It is.
Just doing the intro. I was doing the intro today, going through all the different comic books and doing the voiceover for the intro, getting all the timings right. It's going to be good.
Might be another smaller game out.
Oh, yeah, Too Many Cooks with some Hollow Crown inspired music, but B-sides.
Steve Hackett inspired Holocron.
Yeah. Hollow Hackett.
Hollow Hackett. We saw Steve Hackett last week, didn't we?
We did.
We went and watched the Genesis Man.
He was good.
He was good. He played for a long time, and it went real prog fest in places.
I fell asleep.
Tom fell asleep. I nearly fell asleep.
I'm tired now just
during
thinking about it.
during the 20-minute glockenspiel solo.
The thing is, the start of the gig, it was amazing.
Yeah.
The quality of the musicians were incredible. But then it just hit this one period where both me and Iain were just, I think we'd eaten a lot of sweets as well. And I had my sugar come down and I was like sitting in a seat. And I found myself, I almost woke up on the lady next to me's shoulder. I was like, sorry, love.
Yeah, it just got real prog real quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
We were watching it. The first set was fucking great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was all of his solo stuff and...
It's a 3-hour fucking concert.
Yeah. Spectral Morning, his solo album, like wicked, like riffs and got real heavy in places and the keys, the sax player was hitting sub drops with his feet.
Yeah.
And it was just unexpected, really. Unexpectedly brutal in places, like. And then he comes out and starts doing the Genesis. And I'm not a big fan of Genesis.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know much about Genesis other than Phil Collins was in it and Peter Gabriel.
It's just super prog.
Steve Hackett,
you know,
and probably someone else.
They'll do songs where they sing like this and they talk about sweet shops and working in a bakery and yes,
Danny was the paper boy. He sold the papers every day.
And they're like, and Phil Collins is like, I'm going to do this bar in 4/4, and then we'll go 7/8, and then we'll go 16/12, and it'd be like fucking great. And they're all like, oh yes, and then I'll do a glockenspiel solo over the top. And
For
this
45
is why,
minute until my eyes bleed out of my skull.
And then you start realizing why prog rock died and why the film Spinal Tap was made, and why punk became a thing.
Whatever happened to like that's why punk was like a minute and a half songs.
Yeah,
right?
because they were like, fuck this.
Like no one wants to
this.
turn up to your fucking wank fest.
Yeah. Like, no, we're not going to do guitar solos because we're sick of them. We're sick of Steve Howe playing 20-minute guitar solos.
Scripted guitar solos.
Yeah,
as well.
and going through like every mode on the planet and then like inverted modes and then
like, congratulations, Steve. You can play modes. We all know that you've practiced the guitar. I thought the solos were uninspired in Steve Hackett, purely because, like, only at the end actually did he shred it properly, but the rest of them were just too orchestrated.
Very written, isn't it? Like,
it was classical. It was musically fucking great, but I just was like hoping for a little, like for a dude who's running 2 Engels into Marshall cabs, Marshall stacks. I was expecting more of a chug. Chug. But there wasn't a chug. Steve Hackett in
Gary Holt.
Oh man, imagine. Just starts chucking his like Kim and Kanye.
I don't think I'm sure he can improvise and I'm sure he does a lot and I'm sure he's brilliant at it, but I don't think that's his bag. Like,
no.
I think everything's very written and melodic but it has to be when you've got all these time signatures going on and key changes and you're not just gonna, like with the way that they do it, you're not just gonna fly over that way.
No. Shout out to the guy who plays saxophone,
flute,
second keys, flute,
Irish whistle,
whatever the fuck that like thing was.
Chinese
it was like a
whistle.
long,
Lots of whistles,
trombone thing, but not a trombone.
and then bass with his feet.
And also seemed to do the sound for the whole thing as well. He had a mixing desk. Either he was doing the sound for just himself, or he was doing the sound for everyone.
I'll mute that because I'm not playing it.
He was wicked.
It was good. It was a good night. Shout out to my dad for the tickets.
Yeah.
Went to Wetherspoons, used the app, didn't we? Before?
Cheers, Keith. I still owe you money for that food, actually. Don't let me forget. Right, historical recommendations.
What have you been listening to?
Loads of stuff. I'm going to have to open up my iTunes. My historical recommendation... my historical recommendation is The Art of Storytelling by Slick Rick. 1998, hip-hop classic. Had he just come out of prison when he did The Art of Storytelling? Because I feel like he had just come out of prison, if I recall correctly.
Was he in prison in England?
No, he's in prison in the States, I think. Yeah.
What, for
Let's find out.
for ignoring?
Are you just going to, like, we can't be silent.
For
so-
ignoring citizenship laws or something.
That would be the worst thing for him to have gone to prison for.
'Cause he was
Incarceration and subsequent albums. In 1989, Walter's mother, his name's Walter, Slick Rick, the ruler, Veronica, hired his first cousin, Mark Plumer, as his bodyguard. By 1990, Plumer had become a liability, having tried numerous times to extort money from the artist. Plumer was fired and, unsatisfied with his severance package, tried to rob Walters on numerous occasions and also threatened to kill the rapper and his mother. When Walters found bullet holes in his front door, he bought guns for protection. On July 3rd, this is actually going to be a pretty serious story. July 3rd, 1990, Walters spotted Plumer in his neighborhood and fired at least 4 shots. One bullet hit Plumer, another caught a passerby in the foot. Neither suffered life-threatening injuries. He eventually pled guilty to 2 counts of attempted murder and other charges, including assault, use of a firearm, and criminal possession of a weapon. The rapper called it an act of self-defense. He spent 5 years in prison.
5 years.
2 for the then second-degree attempted murder charges he received during the shooting, and 3 for his struggling with immigration and naturalization services over his residency in the UK.
So he got 2 years for pulling out a fucking gun, shooting a guy, and then accidentally hitting another guy.
But he got 3 years
so
for
he
not
got
filling out paperwork.
He got 2 fucking years for shooting 2 people.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. You got
Like
2
you
years.
get 2 years for like skipping one load of council tax, don't you?
He was imprisoned on Rikers Island as well, which is pretty cool. Well, not cool if you're in prison. That looks like it sucks.
So you could get a gun out, shoot someone, and then accidentally shoot someone else who has nothing to do with the argument that you're having with the person that you've just shot, and get 2 years in prison.
Yeah. Yeah. While in prison, he thought about anal sex with women a lot. You should listen to the track Adults Only on The Art of Storytelling by Rick the Ruler, Slick Rick himself. And if you want us to do a cover of it, put a comment. Like, subscribe, put a comment, because we will do a cover of that. Oh, come on, baby.
My historical recommendation will be Special Mornings by Steve Hackett.
Okay, cool. This is like
So that's the complete opposite.
yeah.
I don't think he ever shot anyone. Doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would shoot anyone.
No, he seems quite nice and polite. I reckon he'd have you in for a cup of tea.
I'm not sure he probably thinks about anal sex as well, but and maybe one of the songs, the instrumentals, is about that, but we'll never know because I don't think it's the kind of thing that he would.
Spectral anus sounds.
Spectral anal.
Glistening fecal matter by Steve Hackett.
It's a good album. It is a good album, and I don't usually like that kind of thing because it's guitar playing.
Yeah. I can't back that play. Sorry, bro. So we're going to move on instead.
Spectral anal wars.
Guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure is don't really know. don't really know what my guilty pleasure is. What's your guilty pleasure?
I'm quite excited. Frozen 2 is coming out. That's quite a guilty pleasure, isn't it?
Is that just because you're going to like have quiet kids for a little while, or is it because you're actually genuinely excited for yourself to see
I've
it?
actually grown quite fond of the first Frozen film.
How many times have you watched it?
Oh, I don't know.
Too many times.
Yeah.
Do you know how to build a snowman yet?
Kids, by the way, I'm not watching this like from. I haven't. I've not sat down and watched Frozen. Well, I have, but not.
This is why I can never get into this. I'm never going to be able to sit down on my own and legitimately watch Frozen.
Well, I didn't sit down on my own and watch it.
No. Which is, yeah, but that's the only option I've got, unless I come and babysit for you. And I'm like, do you guys want to watch Frozen? No, me and Daddy have watched it so many times. Fuck.
I don't even like that film. That's what she says.
You're like putting it back on. But baby,
She's like, I want to watch Batman.
What are you doing with your life, man? You've got a child that you could literally introduce to Batman.
Oh, she's watched Batman. She loves Batman.
But you
And
just...
she is on with Batman bells at the minute, and Spider-Man,
Okay.
which is better than Frozen, but I don't mind Frozen.
I don't know if I've got one this week. I got it. My guilty pleasure is 60 Days In. The Netflix documentary where a bunch of people have to spend 60 days in a county jail, and it's wicked. So good. There's this one guy on it. I can't remember his name, but he's so deluded. He's so broken in his brain. And like, we went to his house in the very last episode, right? He was in the jail for 4 days or 3 days, where he like tried to make himself seem real cool. No one bought his story because he told it wrong, right? He forgot his story, told it wrong, tried to make it up himself. Then he was like, yeah, I got caught on a stop sign on I-45 or whatever the fuck it is. And some other guy was like, there ain't no stop sign on I-45. And he was like, And then they were all like, this guy's a snitch. So they were going to stab him and kill him, right? So they put him into segregation in Seg. And he spent the whole time in there just doing push-ups and like sit-ups and stuff. And like, I love this. I get to spend time on my own. And he was just reading books and writing. He's like, this is like a holiday camp, right? And then he spent all of his commissary money on eating sweets and stuff. And then like, he's such a fucking idiot, such a pussy. But then they come back to put him into the other cell block. So they're like, we can't put you back in there. They'll kill you. We're going to put you into this other one where people are slightly friendlier, right? And he was like, yeah, okay. Then that night he writes the letter of warden. He writes the warden a letter, and he's like, I really think that I should spend the rest of the time in segregation. I don't want to get back to the cells, blah, 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 blah. The warden's like, I'm ignoring that. I'm taking you back.
Because you're here to do a job, like.
Because he's here to fucking find out stuff. It was complete waste of time, right? He wasted everyone's fucking time. And then the next day, he's like got abdominal pains, and he's complaining of like intense constipation, right? To which they then like, after a long drawn out time, after like 18 hours or something, they're like, fine, we'll take you to hospital, but it means you can't be in the program anymore. He then like spends a little while like pretending to be, I've got a really big shit in me. Goes into hospital for 4 hours where they scan him, nothing's there. They then release him. And then he goes back in and he has the fucking audacity to be like, prison was easy. Prison was really easy. It's like, you're such a pussy. Like, you pussied out of this so hard and you're an idiot. And like, and then you go back to his house and he's like made all these sculptures. Oh, he's so weird, man. Everyone else at the beginning, you could tell this dude was fucking weird, right? Everyone else at the beginning was saying goodbye to their families and stuff. He just left his flat. He just walked out into the car laughing about how easy it was going to be. Because, like, no one likes him. No one hangs out with him. Like, whoever that guy is, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Because you're doing life in a weird way and it's freaking me out.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you. But 60 Days In, that's my guilty pleasure. So last but not least...
Well, let's remind people that we're running a competition for this and some other shit. Like, I don't know. What was it?
You get a hat, some badges and an EP, I think.
T-shirt.
And a t-shirt. Yeah, fuck it. And a t-shirt now as well.
Yep. So to enter into this, you have to go onto the official Hate Your Leaders video.
Yep. Not the live one.
Not the live one.
The one that says
official one.
Square brackets, official video in capital letters.
And you need to like it. You need to follow the page.
Like, subscribe, and put a comment.
And then put a comment saying that you want to be entered in to win this. And then you might win it.
Well, you don't need to. You just need to write a comment, right? You don't need to say that you need to, like... So far, there are some people entered in it, like 17, I think, something like that.
So you've all got a good chance. But we will check that you're subscribed. Bloody unsubscribers.
I think I've got three accounts. I'm going to start.
I know, I've left 5 comments because I want to win it.
Yeah. We can have a listening party. And I'll tell you what. Shall we, not next week, but the week afterwards, we'll draw this, and when it's happened, it should be with you in time for Christmas.
Yes. So you can give it to someone that wants it.
Little Christmas, I want it.
Yeah, you can send it back.
Cool, yeah, competition time. Thought of the week.
Thought of the week.
Thought of the week. You can actually hear, if you listen very carefully, you can hear the cogs.
I haven't had a thought this week.
Also, your cogs sound pretty fucked, mate, to be honest. No thoughts?
No, my main thought is I got to MOT the bloody Vauxhall Zafira next month, and I'm just hoping it doesn't cost as much as yours just did.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
You're like, I'd forgotten about that.
Just paid £450 for the day. All right. We're going to run out of battery on the camera, so I'm just going to slam out my thought of the week. Lindemann's Knebel video is the best video ever made. Full stop, hands down. That is it. We are done. Done now. We done now. I'm out.
My thought of the week.
That's my thought of the week.
My thought of the week is Marsh rule.
Twixes, you get 2 of them and you can share them with your buddies.
Kit Kat Chunkies are fucking A's. Peanut butter Kit Kat Chunkies.
Dude, get a Kit Kat Chunky, yeah, bite the ends off, suck a cup of tea through the Kit Kat Chunky, eat the whole thing. You have to kind of
or a coffee, just through a Kit Kat. You don't even need a chunky one. It's a normal Kit Kat.
Yeah, but you just get more chunky if you get chunky, right?
Obviously.
And you have to
but I'd get through like fucking 10.
Yeah. Well,
I'll have a latte and 10 Kit Kat Chunkies, please.
Breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of fat champions.
They call me the breakfast of champions, man. I eat 10 Kit Kat Chunkies every morning.
And 2 vanilla lattes.
And 2 vanilla lattes.
Here's a thought.
Okay.
Don't ever buy a large coffee in Costa and drink in. Have you seen the site? I got a coffee in Costa, a latte, like a couple of weeks back. And they were like, what size would you like? I was like, fuck, I'll have a large one, you know. I'm tired.
Just extra milk.
And like literally, it has 2 handles on it.
The thing is, are they putting any more shots in it?
I've no idea. She made it for me, and she hadn't over. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, that's a large one." I was like,
mate.
"That's not a drink. That's a meal." But it's heavy as well. You're like, you need a chunky to fucking
suck it out. Just a chunky motherfucker standing next to you to lift up your coffee for you.
So there's my thought of the week. Costa need to fucking rein it in.
You've heard it here first.
Leave comments.
Lindemann's Knebel video is the best, and Costa, you need to rein it in. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't watched any of our music videos, go ahead. What are you waiting for? We ain't going anywhere.
We got a pretty cool sound.
Hollow Crown. Pretty cool sound. Right. Safe, bro. Shibbies.